maybe an 18-year-old should be president. Or better yet, maybe only people under the age of 18 should be allowed to vote. The world is hurting, and we know it. And the reality is, the things that we've been doing are not working. It's 2013, and there are still kids who go to bed hungry every night. Still people dying and suffering at the hands of tyrannical regimes. Still people dying of easily preventable diseases that we could, between ourselves, solve. The world needs us, young people. And I think it feels like sometimes there are all of these obstacles facing us as young people, passionately trying to lead things that we care about. And so I want to sort of dispel some ideas or beliefs that we've been holding on to that is absolutely not true, that keep us from doing that. Because I feel like sometimes we have this mentality that the biggest obstacles or the things that keep us from doing what we're doing are the things that we've bought into, that the world tells us you can or can't do because of how old we are. And I will promise you, I have learned time and time again that the greatest asset that you have, the greatest asset that I have as a young person passionately trying to lead the things that I care about in the world is my youth. And sometimes the biggest things that I have to get over is buying into that belief that I've had that the world has fed to me. Because people don't know how to react when they see it. They don't know how to respond when they see young people stepping outside of the box they've created for us to live in. So let me just tell you right now, this is what the world tells you you have to look forward to in life. You're born so you can go to school to get a good education, you know, in your high school years, get good grades, get into a good college, so you can get more good grades, so you can get a good job to make lots of money so you can buy stuff, so you can die. That is what the world tells you you have to look forward to. It's crazy. And when they see us breaking outside of the mold they put together for us, they don't know how to respond to it. The reality is that 99% of the biggest obstacles you and I have to overcome as young people passionately trying to lead something we care about is ourselves. It's overcoming the belief that we're somehow incapable of doing things that matter because of our age. We have got to make the jump from what the world tells us we're able to do to what we actually can do. I'm 24 years old, and I lead an organization here in Hollywood called the Thirst Project. We're a movement of high school and college students all across the U.S. raising awareness of the global water crisis and building wells to address it. What I mean when I say the global water crisis, what it actually translates to is that there are 1 billion people on the planet right now who don't have access to safe, clean drinking water. It means that there are 4,400 kids who die every day as a result of drinking unsafe water that causes diarrhea and dysentery, stuff that would normally maybe just be unpleasant, that literally can be life or death. It means that kids spend hours each day hauling dirty jerry cans to collect water from ponds, streams, or rivers that are going to make them and their family sick. It means that keeps them out of school. They're not able to get an education. It means that women, as a result, aren't able to get jobs, aren't able to contribute financially to their households. We've seen all sorts of easily preventable diseases that, as a result of drinking unsafe water, if we were just to provide that, could literally be eradicated overnight, but as a result, keeps people under this thumb, this oppression of the global water crisis. But one freshwater well can mean the difference between being forced to drink water like this or having access to water like this. And water, when you bring it into a community, is incredible what it does. It lowers disease rates by 88% overnight, child mortality by 90% overnight. Water has a foothold and impact on every single element of community development in every sector of life. So when I first learned about this, my 7 closest college friends and I got together, and we decided to raise awareness on our campus. And now, 4 years later, we have a school tour that travels across the U.S., mobilizing over 300,000 students who've done everything from dances for water to video game tournaments for water to walks for water. And those students have raised over $2.9 million in 4 years, 100% of which has gone to build freshwater wells in 11 countries, giving 180,000 people safe, clean water. All because a bunch of 20-somethings said, what would happen? What if we just told their story? I think that it's easy to sit where you're at and say, well, you can do that because you're 24, or you have access to people with more money or more influence, or any number of reasons why we can do it, but you can't do it. So I have to rewind the clock on my story, first of all. I grew up in Indiana, in not the most over-resourced community, and for 12 years, I had a stepdad that was physically and verbally abusive. So when I was 3, he threw me into my chest of drawers and broke my right leg. When I was 6, he threw me over our second floor banister onto our first floor. I was pushed into walls on a daily basis, and the verbal message I got in a very direct way was, you're not good, you're not lovable, you're not gonna do anything of value. You take that and you put it together with what every single one of us gets when you look at a magazine, a TV, a billboard. I have friends who are executives at ad agencies here in LA. I know ads are so strategically designed to tell you, you'll be good enough if, right? Like, you'll be good enough if you buy this product, make this much money, drive this kind of car, wear these kind of clothes, date this kind of person, look this way, then you'll be good enough. And I'm here to speak directly against all of that. You being older, you having more money, you having a higher education will not solve this problem or any of the other things you might be passionate and care about. Because the reality is, there are already a lot of old, rich, incredibly intelligent people. But yet somehow 4,400 kids still die every day of the most ridiculously basic, preventable diseases. Right now, sitting exactly where you're at, you have everything you need to make a radical, tangible difference in someone else's life. The challenge is, what are you gonna do about it? The world we live in has been perfectly constructed to keep you just placated enough so you're not happy, but you're not really unhappy enough to do anything revolutionary. We defer our lives, saving so we can enjoy it in our old age. But let me tell you, I don't see a lot of old people doing crazy, adventurous, life-changing things because they're old. Like, this plan of deferring our lives sucks. Not only is it your God-given right to do things that are ridiculous and amazing and adventurous and live it out fully right now, it's your moral obligation. The world needs you to do so right now. You don't need another lecture or talk on how to go be amazing and how to go do life-changing things. You need permission. Permission to be dangerous. Permission to do the things the world tells you you cannot do. I do not buy that your whole life leads up to the grand, glorious finale of buying lots of crap so you can die. I don't buy it. I want to invite you into something more adventurous than that. But adventure is messy, really messy. And most people don't do messy very well. I get it. I grew up most of my life an extreme perfectionist and obsessed, literally OCD. So I wasn't able to cope with things not being in perfect order. But I'm here to tell you, generosity doesn't just happen. When you get $1 million or lots of money, you don't suddenly become more generous. Courageousness doesn't just happen when you go to kickboxing class or learn how to do karate. You might be better equipped, better resourced to deal with things that you come across when you have those tools on your side, but it doesn't make you more adventurous or more courageous. And so if you wait until you have reached XYZ place in life to start living, I promise you, not only will you not live out your life adventurously for the people who need you to, but your life's gonna keep spinning by, and you're gonna rob those people who need you right now. Right? I promise you, perfection is a pipe dream, and you cannot wait for it. You have got to make the jump right now, and the only logical solution in a world filled with so many hurting people is to act. Right? People need you right now, in this moment. I want you to imagine a big game, a final game, whether it's the Super Bowl, whether it's the World Cup, whatever it is, and you get tickets to that big game. And you paid a huge price. You are excited, and you get there, and there's fanfare. The cheerleaders are there, and you can just taste the excitement in the air. And the two teams run out on the field, and they get into a huddle. And they huddle for 5 minutes, and they huddle for 10 minutes, and 20 minutes, and an hour, and they break, and they go home. Somebody better play something if I paid that big of a price to be there. What is the price? How many people have to die while they wait for us to start playing the game? We've gotten really good at huddling. We huddle at school, we huddle at meetings at clubs after school, we huddle at workshops, at church, at class, and we talk about all these great things we want to do with our lives, and we break, and we never play the game. I submit today that we can no longer be people who just huddle. We have got to start living the way we have been born to live and serve the world we've been born to do so and play the game. Make the jump. Play the game. Thank you so much.